as part of our discussion on energy and investment, we have to face the elephant in the room, the other part of what one thinks about, frankly, when one thinks about Nigeria, and that is corruption. And it's a discussion that we have every single day at every level of government. That if Nigeria wants the foreign investment to come in, it needs to tackle head-on the issue of corruption. It needs to underline respect for the sanctity of contracts, a level playing field, a judicial system that is independent and that will rule neutrally if matters are brought before the courts. And so that is an important part of our dialogue. I was very, very encouraged when last year President Jonathan appointed Ibrahim Lamorde as the head of Nigeria's preeminent anti-corruption institution, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. We're working with the EFCC to provide training to investigators and prosecutors. But it's not enough to name good people at the top of institutions. It's important to act, and that is a discussion that we have, again, at every level of the Nigerian government. It's important to end a culture of impunity. It's important to move forward with prosecutions of corrupt public and private individuals to demonstrate, in fact, that Nigeria really is open for business and the tremendous opportunity that the country represents can be realized. And clearly, it's important to diversify outside of the oil and gas sector. Now, everyone recognizes that oil and gas is always going to be an important part of the Nigerian economy. The United States recognizes that. In fact, we value it, as I indicated, because of Nigeria's place as a supplier of petroleum products to the United States. But oil and gas is capital intensive. Oil and gas is not going to provide employment opportunities and jobs for the 48% of these 160 million Nigerians who are under the age of 15. Now here again is another incredible challenge and opportunity. This demographic bubble where you have a huge percentage of your population between the ages of 15 and 35. If you look at the models, that's the demographic model that obtained when the Asian tigers took off. Because you've got young people who are entering the workforce at the most productive times in their life. So, enormous opportunity. Enormous opportunity, but what happens if you aren't able to create those jobs? What happens if you can't provide employment or education for these youth? It's also a potential source of instability. And diversifying the economy, what does that mean? It means, once you have reliable power, it means rehabilitating your marketing sector. It means treating agriculture as a business, which is the mantra of the very brilliant Minister of Agriculture, Honorable Minister Adesina, who talks about we need to look at it not as a development project, but as a business, as an agribusiness. And we believe that there are significant opportunities, and we're working with our USAID mission to build capacity for farmers, to help them understand how to produce to markets, how to add all the way up the value chain, and to really create the opportunities that in a country where you have millions of hectares of arable but uncultivated land. It is so important. I've listened to the Honorable Minister's PowerPoint presentation on sort of Nigerian agriculture from 1960 through the present day, and it's astonishing. In the 1960s, Nigeria held significant global positions in key commodities like palm oil, cassava, cotton, groundnuts. Do you know what position Nigeria has in those areas today? Zero. Zero. Collapsed with the development of a rentier economy where people looked at securing resources from the oil and gas sector and benefiting themselves. So it's really important, as Nigeria moves forward, to look at how you can really rebuild the ag sector so that Nigeria eventually can become what it once was, a food exporting nation instead of a food importing nation. Now, I'm delighted that Nigeria is the largest consumer of U.S. wheat. That's good for America, it's good for American business, it's good for jobs here at home. But it really makes no sense when you think about it, when you look at the agricultural potential of this great country.